The following movie is rated R.
What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody is feeling fantastic still on this Tuesday. So let's go ahead and dive right into this topic, and I want to talk about a crazy situation that transpired, I believe yesterday or maybe the day before. You have Tish Hyman, who is a singer-songwriter and rapper out of Bronx, New York, who was working out at Gold's Gym, and a TRANS man walked into the locker room while she was standing there in all of her glory, and she went completely the F off. Now, Tish ended up checking dude for being in the women's locker room, right? But get this, as a result of her checking him, she actually got her gym membership revoked and she was kicked out of the gym. And so a lot of people on social media are ticked off about that. Like, she has a right to feel how she feels, correct? So what I want to do right here is play you guys a couple of clips that I put together of Tish confronting the dude that was in the women's locker room. I'm also going to play you clips of Tish talking about this, and she's completely going off. You could tell that there was some trauma that was triggered that was already within her by him being in the locker room. She alludes to the fact that something may have happened to her when she was a child, and immediately following that, I'm gonna play you a couple of clips of people talking about this, and don't worry, it won't be biased. I believe that everybody probably will resonate with one side or the other, or may not, but I'm trying to be completely as unbiased as I possibly can. So check out these clips. It's rather lengthy, but it's entertaining, and I'll be back to close the video.
Did you tell me or not that women like to see?
Asking you question.
Exactly. Get out of the way now. No. Now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. We don't want it. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that. And the woman told you. The girl told already. We already filed reports. No.
That's fine. I want the video.
You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when there are girls in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
I understand.
I just had the worst experience ever at the gym, at Gold's Gym, and I think this is probably happening at gyms across America, where like women are going into the women's locker room and not really caring about how women feel about it. And it's really hurtful, yo. Like, how you gonna say you want to be a woman or that you are a woman, but you don't give a feel? Today I was in the locker room. I turn around and there's a man there in boy clothes, lip gloss, standing there looking at me. I'm button. So the first thing I think is maybe there's a worker in here. Maybe I missed the sign. I say the word sir to say, sir, what are you doing in here? He goes, don't to me, I'm a woman, I have a right to be in here. Immediately, I'm pissed because I'm butt. I feel violated. I feel like weird. Like, I don't want to deal with this, right? So the girls are walking in and they're seeing the commotion and they actually chime in and say, yo, I don't know why he's in here. He's not supposed to be in here. And then I talk to the people that work at Gold's Gym and they don't really have anything to do. They just like, oh, we can file a report about it, incident report. What the going on? Like, listen, how can you say you're a woman or you want to be a woman and you don't care how women feel? That's nothing more manly than not giving a women feel, I'd like to think. And I get it, like, everybody has their own things, and I don't explain, I don't want to say that I know everything about gay rights or trans rights. I'm a lesbian. I've been a lesbian my whole life. I treat people how I want to be treated regardless of whatever they orientation is or whatever they decide. So I'm not transphobic and I'm not phobic. I'm not straighty-phobic. I'm not none of these things. I just believe in treating people how I want to be treated. Why do you guys think it's okay for men to be in the women's restroom? And like, when is the cutoff point? Is it like, oh, you cut off, you can come in here? Why aren't women making the laws? And if you really want to be safe and feel good, why don't we just make restrooms? Because it ain't right. The way I feel right now. And don't come into my comments about he gay, he ain't looking at you. I don't give a bro. It's about a feeling, yo. Like, if you never been a little girl who been touched or been through, you won't understand that feeling. And you've never been a little girl. Now, I'm not telling anybody to be Republican or Democrat. Now, I'm not telling anybody to be Republican or Democrat or anything, because I'm neither. I'm just a woman who's standing up for women's rights. And I don't give what you are. If you're a Republican, a Democrat, I don't care if you support Trump or Kamala. I don't give a all I need is people to come together for one thing. It's to help women, to save women. Women! Women! Not is women. Okay? Now, what do I think about I don't think about I'm a lady. I don't give a trans. I don't give two about if a person wants to be this or that or whatever, bro. But you know what? Do that at the locker. You men, do it out of the locker room. It doesn't matter if you a woman in your in reality, you look like a man to me and to every other woman, and we don't care.
Hey guys.
So the MAGA world is going apeshit today because a woman went into a woman's restroom at a Gold's Gym. Now, I've been very clear on my opinions on this. I feel like if you haven't had the actual snip surgery, then you probably shouldn't be in women's locker rooms. But it's not a top priority for me, and it's certainly not a top priority for most normal Americans in this country. Here's my biggest issue with this, okay? First of all, MAGA Republicans are going to be taking food stamps away from millions of Americans. But you see, they're not talking about that today, or the fact that Donald Trump is weaponizing hunger. Literally, that's what he did on Truth Social today. He's weaponizing hunger. Or the fact that 20 million plus Americans are going to lose their Medicaid coverage. They don't want to talk about those real issues, or the fact that this could be the longest government shutdown in American history. They don't want to talk about that. But they want to talk about how upset they are that, God forbid, a transgender woman went into a woman's restroom. By the way, didn't harm anybody, didn't break any policies at Gold's Gym, didn't break the law. Hey, guess what? If you don't want a in a restroom with you, then maybe don't be a member at Gold's Gym, because that is their policy. They allow it, you dummies. And then you had people out there screaming and yelling and swearing, and I know one woman was thrown out. Good, she deserved it. And while I don't necessarily agree with someone who hasn't had the actual surgery using a woman's restroom, it's not World War III. They're not going in there to be peeping Toms. They're not going in there to break the law. Dress, undress, do what you need to do. Use the bathroom and get out of there and move on with your day, you morons. I've had it with these MAGA Republicans that continue to talk about the culture wars, continue to talk about transgenders in women's bathrooms. They'll tweet about it 10,000 times. These right-wingers on social media will tweet about it nonstop. But they're not talking about the fact that Donald Trump is weaponizing food stamps today. Oh no, they're not talking about that. They're not talking about the fact that so many Americans in this country are struggling, that we're headed towards a recession, that the war in Ukraine is still sadly going strong, that there is no peace in the Middle East. They don't want to talk about Donald Trump's failures. They don't want to talk about their own failures. But the sky is falling when a transgender woman goes into a woman's restroom. Folks, do you see what I'm getting at here? Republicans are not serious people. They don't know how to govern. This is not a top 3 issue. It's not a top 5 issue. It's not a top 10 issue in every single poll out there. The top issues that Americans care about are the economy. They care about inflation. They care about their job, paying taxes. Every single one of those issues, Republicans are failing, and they usually always do. So when you see a story today and how angry MAGA Republicans are and the Nancy Maces of the world because a used a female restroom at Gold's Gym, just think to yourself for a moment, how important is this story? Is this more important than me putting food on the table or unable to put food on the table for my family? Is this more important than me losing my medical benefits? Is this more important than me losing my job? Ask yourself those questions. And if all those questions are no, this is not more important, which I would agree with you on, then maybe you should blame the orange man that's in the White House right now and the fact that Republicans are running the House and the Senate. This is a Republican shutdown, and most people in this country that are not bigots don't care about a woman going in there and doing her thing using a woman's restroom at Gold's Gym.
All right, so you guys just saw and heard all of that information, and it's enough information for you guys to formulate your own opinion and drop down in the comments, and I'm waiting to see what you guys have to say about this. This is a very sensitive topic. It's definitely ignited social media into this conversation once again, because I believe Planet Fitness had a situation to go down like this not too long ago. I personally feel that Tish and all the women around the world have every right to express their feelings in regards to this situation right here. Tish was not wrong. She shouldn't have been banned from the gym, and she shouldn't have had her membership revoked. It's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm just going to keep it all the way 100. I just think that men, full-fledged men, need to stay the F out of the women's locker room. And that's just how I feel about it. But other people may feel differently. And guess what? You have that right as well. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about all of this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, go ahead and sub to the channel. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Peace.
Thanks for watching.